Hello everyone, I'm Dante, and this week in Anthem we have the impending early release of Anthem, the official launch trailer, and a final AMA from the devs. As we move into the final few days before the Origin Access launch, we're getting all the traditional launch trailers and advertising show up, including giant billboards, which remind me a lot of both launches for Overwatch and Destiny 2. Nothing too notable in terms of new information, but there is something we've barely seen before, in-game footage of the Heart of Rage. Or at least part of it. The trailer introduces all the Javelins with a glimpse at their ultimate and strengths in-game. For the Colossus, this includes a trip to the Cataclysms stemming from the fall of Freemark, which we have seen from a Strider and very briefly from the perspective of a Colossus. This time we can see a channel up close. In terms of lore, this means we're going back to Freemark, likely to protect the Cenotaph. Other than that, we can't really determine much else. The biggest updates for this week came from the Ask Me Anything about Anthem, which brought up the topics of Anthem's endgame once again, specifically the raiding content. Even though we've been told something raid-like will be coming, which has been confirmed once more, we now have the answer for what these will come in, and it's actually the exact way myself and many others predicted, the Cataclysm events. The first part of which drops in only a few months as part of the first act of the endgame. These will be the source of Anthem's versions of raids. I don't see much merit in arguing about if BioWare does or doesn't have the experience to pull these off, as we haven't seen the full game just yet, though they still maintain a pedigree when it comes to game developers, especially when it comes to telling a compelling story, so I think we're in safe hands. In addition to near confirmation of raids, it's possible they won't follow the same player size as the existing models. They seem to be open to allowing 6 to 8 players into raids and potential open play, though we won't be seeing these anytime soon. Without knowing the scale they're aiming for raids, it's hard to know what correct size should be, but in my opinion, it tends to be good to keep sizes in multiples, so 8 players would make sense. I'm just not too sure the networking can handle that many players and abilities at one time, so 6 might have to be a compromise. While most questions have been answered, either over time or in response to the demo, we did get a few new pieces of information. First off, some stats. Over the open demo weekend, 44 million hours of Anthem were played. For some context, that's 5,000 years worth of hours in only 2 days. So those server issues are looking much less likely come launch. Speaking of which, we have 2 more questions related to the demo. The first regarding to stacking of abilities. As of right now, there are no limits. However, this might not always be the case. The team at BioWare are okay with some abilities being stacked, such as Shield Wall, but some of the more impactful ones will be monitored. Abilities such as Bulwark Point and Shield Pulse have the potential to break aspects of the game, by reducing more damage than intended. For launch, we won't see any changes, but balancing will continue long into the future, along with possible rebalancing for the Devastator sniper rifle. The last question I wanted to cover today is on the swimming in Anthem, which is by far the worst aspect of the game when it comes to controls at least, made worse by the areas being nearly completely dark. To help with this, they'll be altering the brightness, which will help with direction while underwater, but I mostly hope they've amended those controls while submerged, which is just compounded on when you're not 100% sure of the direction you should be travelling. At this point, we're only days away from having the full game in our hands, so over the next few weeks more informed content can be created. As a result, I'll be moving much of my content type to match what I'm more interested in, notably lore. I started with the basics of the Dominion lore on Sunday, but much more lore focused content will be coming. I'll also be doing content on builds and the rest of the endgame. So as we move into launch, let me know firstly what you're most excited to see from Anthem, and secondly, what content you want to see come launch. Thanks for watching this week in Anthem. As always, you can see links to everything discussed below. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like or a dislike if you prefer. You can support the channel by subscribing and use the bell to be notified of future content as it goes live. And until next time, I've been Dante, thanks for watching.